Okay. Hi, guys. Good evening. Welcome to this, I wouldn't say an unusual session, but a special session wherein GP and I today take a back seat. We don't talk, we relax, we chill a little, we behave like y'all. We hear, and y'all hear straight from the horse's mouth, from people who've been exactly where you were last year. If I'm not wrong, we were just discussing backstage before this session started. Ki last year, CAT was on 24th November. So, for all practical purposes, this is one day before CAT for Siddesh, Aman, Shruti, and Anurag sitting here. So we felt that it might be the right time for you all to hear from some of the achievers who last year were exactly where you are right now, what they did over the last 1 week, how they were stressed equally, exactly like you are, how they did not score very well in the last couple of mocks, but still ended up at one of the top institutes in the country, how they might have scored very well in the last mock, but still law of averages didn't go against them and they ended up at one of the top schools of the country, and much, much more. So, a lot coming your way. And I hope I'm audible and visible. Hi, GP, and I'll take this as an opportunity to introduce Siddesh, Aman, Shruti, and Anurag. Our last year students who are currently at their respective colleges, and I'll probably open it up to them for the first 10, 5, 10 minutes, a minute each for them to go ahead and introduce. This is not a GDPR introduction, so it's up to you what you want to say, don't want to say. It's not an interview intro, but yeah, over to you all. Maybe we go ladies first, as always.
Um, so I'll introduce myself. Is my voice echoing? Is it fine?
It's
A,
like
a,
Aman,
li-
it's fine.
a
Okay.
little
It's
for
okay
sure.
for me.
Okay. So I'm currently in IIM Bangalore right now. I have done my undergrad from HTTP Khalsa University, Delhi University in Maths Honors. And then I had 31 months of work experience at a company called Escalent, which is a data research and consulting firm, where I'd worked on a lot of projects that did motivate me at the time to pursue an MBA. And that's why I started preparing for the CAT exam. And I remember starting my preparation in January last year, and I had taken a career launcher from June. And was a part of the comprehensive mock series and later the PDP personalized program as well. So I'm really excited to share my journey and how Career Launcher helped me, as well as how I went about the 7 days before CAT exam, because I do think they were very important for me to perform the way I did in the final exam.
Perfect. Nice introduction, Aman. Over to you, Shruti.
Hi guys, I'm Shruti. I'm from Delhi. I've done a degree in psychology from Lady Shriram College for Women, University of Delhi, and I also hold a master's in clinical psychology. So that makes me a psychologist. I practiced for a while and then I decided to switch gears and pivot to MBA. So I'm at IIM Ahmedabad. Like Aman said, very excited to share about my insights because a lot of it, especially, I mean, two-thirds of CAT, DILR, and Con didn't come naturally to me. I hadn't done maths for about 5, 6 years when I started the prep. I'd taken the CL course in March, so I was with them for an entire year because I also ended up taking the personalized PDP program. And my journey with CL was also great, and I'm very excited to share how we can go about the second 7 days and the do's and the don'ts here onwards.
So, all stress related queries go to Shruti. She'll help you in multiple ways related to that. Okay, Anurag, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Anurag Sultania. I come from Mumbai and I'm a student at IIFT Delhi. So my background, as we all code them in numbers, it's 977 with a 2 years gap. My degree was bachelor's in accounting and
I'll
finance.
stop you there, Anurag. 2 years gap. So 50% जनता who is worried कि अपनी जिंदगी खत्म है, there is this person here in front of you. IIFT Delhi. Oh, back to you,
I
Anurag.
was I was one of them when I was on the other side of the screen. But yeah, it's quite chill here, and I have a background in commerce. And unlike Shruti, DLR and cons do come naturally to me, but English was something that I'm quite averse with. So yeah, I'm excited to share my insights and how the last 7 days were. I was also a student for PDP Personalized, and I had taken test series and VRC 1000 by just during my prep.
Perfect. Venn diagram representation से सब कुछ ही फिल हो गया है अब. क्वांट पसंद अच्छा नहीं, वर्बल पसंद अच्छे नहीं, सब आ गया है इसमें. सिद्धेश, ओवर टू यू.
Hello everyone, myself Siddesh. I come from a small town in Karnataka called Tumkur. So I completed my undergrad in BTech in Mechanical Engineering in 2019, and I had a work experience of 22 months in Godrej as a mechanical engineer. Then I took a gap of 3 years for my UPSC prep. I missed by a very little margin, and then I switched to CAT. So it's basically I have 6 years of gap from the end of UG to the beginning of PG. So all thanks to GP sir for landing me here in IIM Vizag.
Brilliant. This was the only part left that we needed an engineering person. Generally, आजकल engineer representation कम हो जाता है ये सब चीज़ों में. So it's good to have an engineer here, and great that we've got somebody who's got who did UPSC and came back. We keep talking about these stories that people try something out and then MBA ends up being the second option eventually, with the goal being the same. So we got a good number of people here. GP, over to you. Maybe हेलो हाय फ्रॉम योर एंड. आप म्यूट पे हो.
ओके नो आई वाज सेइंग वाज कि आई थिंक हमें म्यूट पे ही रहना चाहिए है एंड आई एम श्योर पिछले 6-7 महीने में these students have heard a lot from us and we'll probably end up repeating ourselves, so better we don't repeat ourselves and we stay quiet and let these folk take the ball forward. So back to, I would say, the four of them.
Absolutely. What I'll also do is, GP, I actually have a PPT which has questions that students specifically pointed out, which they wanted our achievers here to go ahead and answer. So I'll probably just go ahead and share that. They've got specific questions. Apart from that, obviously, feel free to add whatever you all want, guys, but just specific questions which will help us ensure that we're moving on a specific path. So I think this is a nice place to start. I hope the PPT is visible, and you all can probably take turns to have a go at this, because this, I think, is going to be the most foremost question in everybody's mind at this point in time. And like Rishabh said, ये बोलते हुए अपने mock scores भी बता देना, because उसमें वो लोग को ज्यादा interest है कि please tell your mock scores versus your actual score. Yeah. Okay, Shruti, why don't you start?
Sure. So I think I'll go ahead with a couple of points very quickly. First and foremost is stay calm. You've done however many months of prep, be it 3, be it 9, you've done your fair share of prep. So don't chase finishing the syllabus at this point, because you've done most of it. You've done whatever you had to. Important point is, one, stay calm mentally, so that you're focused and you're not letting your mental stress affect your performance. I'm sure it's a very stressful time, but don't panic. Try not to panic. And the second thing I'd recommend is, instead of chasing new concepts, if you're not able to do something in a specific mock or a sectional, keep revising. So I'm sure if you have like a quant cheat sheet, or an analysis of previous mocks where you made a note ki I could not do this, go back to that, revise the things that you were not able to do once upon a time, and see if you've been able to do them now.
Perfect. And your mock scores to your actual, Shruti, सबसे ज्यादा interest इसी चीज में है.
So I mean, I remember it very well. 3 weeks before actual DILR, I got a actual CAT. I got a -2 in DILR. 2 weeks to CAT, I was scoring single digits in cons. So मेरी तो बहुत फटी हुई थी, to be very candid and very honest. I remember I used to panic and text GB sir कि नहीं हो रहा है, what to do. But yeah, I mean, I had systematically maintained a cheat sheet for quant where I had my questions, and at also every sectional that I'd done so far, I'd marked questions and I had a note of it. So I kept revising them, and my mock scores were in the 60s and 70s only in the last 2-3 mocks that I took. My PRC was exceedingly well. I was getting a 98, 99, but my quant and DILR, I was not able to perform well. So for me, it was a low week rather, before the actual day.
Perfect. So I think that should be encouraging to a lot of students there.
Actually, बहुत confidence दे दिया इसने सबको अभी suddenly.
Exactly. मतलब -2 से IIM Ahmedabad. in 3 weeks. I want to go there. So I think that in itself should give students a lot of confidence कि कुछ भी हो सकता है. It's about that one particular day and trusting everything that you've done. Because ये -2 से IIM Ahmedabad without hard work तो नहीं आया. Fight तो मारी है. Yeah. हाँ अनुराग. Maybe from somebody जिसको quant and DLR थोड़ा naturally आता है.
Yeah, so for my primary mantra during the prep was mocks and then its analysis. Like मेरा second attempt था, so मेरा concepts kind of clear था, and mocks से मुझे पता चल रहा था कि I am weak in this particular concept. That was the thing I did up till November. Now talking about mock scores first. First 4th November मुझे date भी अच्छे से याद है, and मुझे VRC में 4 marks आया था. And my strategy for VRC was that I have to attempt all the questions because I noticed कि अगर मैं 24 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट कर रहा हूँ फिर भी 50% एक्यूरेसी है, 12 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट कर रहा हूँ फिर भी 50% एक्यूरेसी है, तो better play the volume game and score some extra marks. So that was quite demoralizing, but you have to back yourself. Like तुमने इतना मेहनत किया है, इतने टाइम से प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, it might be a bad day and that's why you didn't get a good score. And अच्छी बात है कि एक मॉक में बैक डे हो गया, so that doesn't occur on the main CAT day. So I told that to myself. I took a day off. थोड़ा सा relax करो. First main thing for the last 7 days is that chill. As she said that don't take up any new concept or don't think that I have to cover this topic before. Instead, focus on your strengths. Like suppose time speed distance मेरा बहुत strong है. I will revise that. As I said, I used to analyze my mocks a lot. To revise the difficult questions that you had. My strategy for mocks in the last week actually was take one mock today or tomorrow if you haven't today yet and then take last mock on Wednesday. I had saved my CAT 24 slot for slot 3. So I saved my CAT 23 slot 3 paper for the last week. And because हम लोग prepare करते हैं तो classes उसी के around paper बनाते हैं. So I was quite familiar कि हाँ ऐसे type का difficulty होगा. So the CAT 23 paper went really well. Like we remember CAT 23 was quite difficult, but still it went really well. So I was like कि हाँ बस अब इसके बाद कोई CAT mock नहीं देना. यही positive momentum लेके जाना है on the exam day. Be optimistic, like मैं इतना stress लेता नहीं था कि हाँ ठीक है अच्छे से हो जाएगा. Cons and DIY was quite strong by the time I reached November. But yes, VRC was quite worrying कि अगर उस दिन नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा. But never let that negative thoughts haunt you. Just trust yourself and back yourself. Stay chill, stay relaxed. Don't try anything new in the last week. And maybe watch a show or something on Saturday before the main.
Which one do you recommend, Anurag? मेरा ये क्वेश्चन था. क्या देखना चाहिए
I,
लास्ट 1-2 दिन में?
so I like my young movies. So I used to watch Cars, जो Pixar का movie है. I watched that on Saturday.
That's new. Interesting. Yeah, Aman, over to you.
For me, also, I think my strategy was also a lot of refinement rather than intensity and volume over the last week. And I had also given a few mocks. I had given exactly 5 mocks in those 7 days and did not do anything on the last 2 days. And like Anurag, I had also saved the 23 mock for myself in the last week, and I hadn't scored that well in that mock. So I thought that if CAT 23 isn't going that well, maybe like the actual exam won't. But I think but at the same time, by then I had made the mocks as a learning tool rather than something I was taking to heart. So that had helped to just forget about it and just practice another mock the next day, or just to be very relaxed over that week. And other than that, I also needed more confidence in DILR. So I was giving a few sectionals every day. And I do remember giving about one sectional every day for the 5 days when I was giving mocks. And on the last 2 days, I gave about 3 sectionals. So when I saw that I was getting about decent marks in the sectionals, I was happy and relaxed with that as well. But I think one more thing that I did to maybe which really did help me in the last 7 days was a lot of visualization. I even whenever I was nervous, I was imagining myself on the exam day that I will effortlessly give my paper and that I'll come out happy and smiling and that I'd given it my best. So that helped me focus from what could go wrong or what could be the challenges to something that was really exciting, that I had prepared so long for this exam and I'll go ahead and give it my best that day. So if you all could also just try to focus on uh, the amount of preparation that you've done and how you'll be able to give your best that day, I think that will also take a take the edge of things, and you'll be able to be a lot calmer with your prep in the last week.
Interesting. Visualization is something that Jijo always lives by when it comes to VARC. This is visualization in terms of real life. So that's a very interesting point. Mocks, कहाँ से कहाँ गए?
For mocks, to be honest, there was a lot of variation. In that CAT 23 mock, I hadn't scored that well. It was, I don't remember my percentile, but it was, I think, the early 90s. But other than that, there was something that I'd scored 99 also. There was sometimes in DLR I'd scored single digits also. So I don't think you should be very worried about the scores in the last week. You should just trust your prep and keep practicing, and not too much practice as well. Just be very I think the key is to be very relaxed that week and calm that week, and that's how you'll be able to score your absolute best on the D-Day.
Nice. Yeah, Siddesh. I think there was a network issue at your end.
Yeah, yeah. Am I audible now?
Yeah, audible and
Yeah.
visible.
Yeah, thank you. So on the last 7 days, like I usually solve previous year question papers itself. Like I didn't go for any mocks from any coaching institute or to be of that sort. The best thing is I used to sit at the time when I used to give the exam, the final exam. Like mine was slot 3, so I used to sit at slot 3 time itself, and I used to simulate the exact examination scenario, and I used to give. After that, the best thing which helped me was for the analysis. Like after the exam, I used to go back and I used to redraw where I went wrong in approach, or did I, my critical thinking was wrong, or like where did I go wrong, how, why did I end up scoring less in this question. So that's what I did for last 7 days. So it's more of a quality rather than a quantity.
Perfect. Good point. And I think Utsav, you had a question and you posed it to GP, Utsav. GP, if you want to pick it up, because I think it's quite
Mhm.
closely related to what Siddesh just stated.
Mhm.
PYQ oriented ही है.
हाँ. देखो उत्सव, it's not a compulsory thing, I would say. कर सकते हो कर लो, ठीक है. But when you're doing those also, please remember, there also you need to focus on the areas or the topics or the kind of question you are comfortable with. And इसके थ्रू ये मत कोशिश करना कि जो चीज नहीं आती है वो सीख लेता हूँ. Because I very strongly believe जो पिछले 6 महीने 9 महीने साल की preparation we have not been able to get the hang of, अगले हफ्ते में कोई जादू नहीं होगा. So what you know is what you know, and that is what you need to strengthen. Whether you do it through PYQs or something else, it does not really matter.
Perfect. Okay, guys. Moving to the next one. Should we still take sectionals in the last week or stop now? I think Aman answered this beautifully. Though I don't agree with her point of last 2 days में भी मैंने 3 sectional DLR के लिख दिए, but ठीक है, it worked for her. So I will not say anything. It might work for a few people. But what about the others? Did you all solely focus on mocks? Because Aman had a good mix. I think she said 5 mocks and about a sectional a day when it came to DLR. What about the others? Shruti, Anurag, Siddesh. Mocks लिखना है, sectionals, good mixture.
So I would say that it depends on your prep. अगर sectional काम कर रहा है आपके लिए, then maybe take a few sectionals. I was the one जो पूरे full mock में believe करता था, because sectionals can give you a bad reflection. अभी जैसे हम लोग quants लिख रहे हैं, sectionals में you ought to score more than you can score in the actual test, because fatigue set in हो जाता है. You are giving two sections, you are reading a lot in VRC, then you are solving
Very
sets in
good point.
DILR, and then you come to cons. तो वो थकान के बाद उतना स्कोर नहीं कर पाते कॉन्स में जितना यू कैन स्कोर विद इन अ सेक्शनल विद अ फ्रेश माइंड. So my ideology was rather give a full mock or just solve questions with a timer on instead of taking sectional tests. So I was never good. Oh, I mean, I would never say that take sectional, but yeah, if it works for you, you can take that. If you want something new for practice with a timer, you can do that. Yeah.
Shruti, Siddesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead, Shruti. Go ahead.
Okay, so I agree with Anurag. It depends a lot on where you stand, but don't do anything which will, set you apart now in the last week, like GP sir also said. So for me, I had exhausted all my sectionals. I was left with a mock or two. But in the last week, I think I took 2 mocks and I'd stopped taking mocks, I think around 20th November मेरा last था and 24th was CAT day. So, and I was not taking sectionals also. Like I said earlier, I was revising the questions I had marked for me, especially in quant and DILR, because I knew VARC is my strong point and I'm, fully prepared with it. So I didn't spend that much time on VARC as well. But if you're someone for whom you think VARC is very important, then I'd say continue reading your newspaper or editorial if you're reading. Continue, say, do two RCs in a day or three RCs or do a VARC sectional, but don't put too much pressure on you in the last week because that's the last thing we want.
So,
Spot on.
if you ask me, can I go ahead, sir?
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah. So I used to focus like on the paper, entire complete paper itself, rather than going for sectional. Because at the end of the day, in exam, your brain should be fresh to solve all the three sections. So I focus more on simulation, solving the paper, going back to analysis. Where did I go wrong? So I didn't focus more on sectional because we know the overall performance should be good. Like for in one section, if you hit a ace and in other section you're going down, it doesn't work like that in cat especially. So I used to focus on maximizing each sectional rather than going behind one sectional.
If I
Sure.
may just jump in, seeing a few comments about VARC scores being temperamental. So one thing that I want to add is it's very important to sort of create that environment right now because on the D day it was slot one for me for the first 7 minutes in which you can do one entire RC. My mouse didn't work. So I had 33 minutes for the VARC section and that was very challenging for me. So one thing which
One sec, Shruti. One sec, Shruti. I want to put that in context here. This is the person who is saying quant and DILR is not my area of strength. I am focusing on VARC because उसमें मेरे max marks आने हैं. उसके first 7 minutes of the CAT paper is VARC and उस 7 minutes में the mouse is not working. So think of the mental state at this point in time, considering the other two sections are not her areas of strength, but verbal is. And
and
just now listen to how she overcame that. It's important. It might happen with you all.
also to add content, you could be taking a mock from your home but you don't know what's going to be at the center. So at my center everything was running late, so when my mock started at 8:30 people were still in queue, which meant that there was a lot of noise and disruption for me and my mouse was also not working, my system was changed, and anyway I lost 7 minutes. Now what's very important is that whatever strategy you have in place for VARC, my personal strategy was do per RC in 7 minutes. So that means 28 minutes go, and 12 minutes may I go to my VA. In that, also, a lot of times, what I learned through my mocks was that if a question is so difficult that I need to jump between the question and the paragraph and the question, I'm not able to understand it, move on. So, the point I'm trying to make is whatever the external factors are, whatever your context is, stick to your strategy, keep telling yourself all is well, quite literally. It's not something that I'm exaggerating because on the DD I scored the lowest in my VARC section only. Meri percentile sabse kam usme thi, which was supposed to be my strong point. So the point that I'm not trying to stress you out, but just keep in mind that things might not go your way on the D day. So right now also, if you're in the mode where you tell yourself you have nothing to lose and you're doing your best, you'll be okay eventually.
Very valid point, and very, very important in terms of overcoming issues that you might face in the exam itself, because that can happen. And a couple of questions here with respect to verbal, which have been picked up. Probably at the same time, I'll pick up a few questions with respect to QA and DILR. Maybe Anurag, you could start with this.
Yeah, see, about DILR, the format has changed last year. I don't know if it will be I mean, and none of us know that if there will be the same format this year. But if even if you have around 20 minutes left, in DILR, earlier it used to be that एक set solve कर लो 90 plus हो जाएगा, दो set solve कर लो 99 plus हो जाएगा. But you have to be very flexible on the day. Like अगर 24 जैसा easy DILR आ गया, then one set might not suffice. तो फ्लेक्सिबल रहो, डोंट लूज होप. एज श्रुति सेड कि 7 मिनट्स जाने के बाद मैं तो पैनिक कर जाता अगर ये आसिनो में ऐसा होता. बट यू हैव टू स्टिक कि अभी जो टाइम है मेक द बेस्ट ऑफ इट. अभी रिग्रेट करने का टाइम नहीं. डोंट गो अहेड ऑफ द पेपर कि बाद में रिजल्ट क्या होगा. डोंट थिंक अबाउट द रिजल्ट ड्यूरिंग द टेस्ट. अभी टेस्ट है, उसमें पॉइंट ये है कि भाई मैक्सिमम मार्क्स मुझे स्कोर करना है, be it using any जुगाड़ solution from GP sir, be it using the options or do anything but just score as much as you can. जो भी ऑप्शन ये है टीटा क्वेश्चंस हैं, just use some logic and type in an answer. वो कभी भी blank नहीं जाना चाहिए. And I mean 20 minutes is still a lot of time. अगर panic नहीं करेंगे then you can still solve around two sets and that will place you in a good situation. Leave the section once it's done and focus on the next section. Do your best in it. Eventually अगर overall percentile अच्छा आ रहा है that's good for you. Like जितना भी time है make the best of it. Don't think ahead of the paper कि अरे मेरा तो पेपर चला गया 20 मिनट हो गया मैं तो नहीं होगा. 20 minutes are enough to get you a 90 plus percentile and then make your best in the other section. That's what I would.
Yeah, I
Definitely,
think.
I think.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Aman.
sir. I
Yeah,
had
please
one
go ahead.
point, adding to Anurag's point. Like he said, I would definitely say be flexible with the exam day because I had also very nicely strategized that I'll try to score 30 in my DILR. But last year it ended up being a lot more easier. So even though I did end up scoring 30, it didn't lead to me getting 99 percentile in the DILR section. So if it's easier, don't just stick to your prep or don't just stick to the strategy that you have in mind. Just be open to seeing the sets, and if you have time, then just go ahead and solve as many as you can. And as Anurag said, definitely attempt those TETA questions. They'll help you score a lot more marks. So you can do that as well.
Yeah, so carrying on from what others are stating, fluctuation is the name of the game. वो नहीं हो रहा है तो मैं थोड़ा worried होऊंगा कि law of averages के accordingly last day में कुछ suddenly fluctuate ना हो, सबका हो रहा है मेरा नहीं हो रहा. We find reasons to get worried. सबके साथ ये हो रहा है, मेरे साथ नहीं हो रहा तो वरी है सम है, मेरे साथ हो रहा है तो भैया एनीवेज वरी सम है. सो please don't search for reasons. We have enough reasons in life to be worried. Whatever will happen with you on the day of cat, you can concoct a story around it and a situation around it that will worry you, or you can hear what these guys are stating and realize that उस दिन भी प्रॉब्लम होनी है. How you handle it is going to be the difference between you and somebody else who doesn't make it to that top B school or doesn't at least receive a call from that top B school. Because I don't think there'll be anybody here, might be a person here who turns around and states, हाँ उस दिन it went completely seamless, but I'm quite sure everybody faced some issue or the other. Is there anybody who had a seamless cat day? Seamless मतलब कोई एकदम जो सोचा यूटोपिया हो गया? Any of you 4-5?
I think it did happen for me exactly
did.
the way I had imagined it. I went on time. The exam center was really helpful with everything. They started everything on time. Everybody was very quiet. And
I like that. Everybody was
Everybody
very
was
quiet.
right.
किसी
in
ने
the
मुझे
end,
डिस्टर्ब नहीं किया.
everybody was minding their own business. The invigilators were very nice. Then DLR, as I'd imagined, I scored 30, but that did not help me too much because I could have scored more, but I limited myself, I think. But and I came out smiling also from the exam. So in terms of the day, it was really nice. I think as soon as I came out of the paper, I started seeing live analysis of the paper, and there they said that this was the easiest cat paper in history. If you don't score
कौन सा
like
स्लॉट था अमन?
slot, and if
फर्स्ट
you
स्लॉट.
don't, if you've not done multiple amounts of questions in quant, so you've not done this much, don't expect any marks. So after that, I started feeling a bit sad because I thought that I had only done as much as I had planned, but it was not enough for how easy it was. I earlier thought it was easy because I had prepared well, but it ended up being easy for everybody only.
इवेंचुअली परसेंटाइल कितना था?
99.47.
इनफ ना?
Yes, yes.
और पॉइंट कुछ परसेंटाइल तो नहीं चाहिए था? खुश ना?
Yes, yes.
I just a couple of things this may just to this may one other thing just want to add to what all of them have already said. Yeah, देखो each one of you have your own style. Okay, which means some of us are people जिनको last minute तक तैयारी करने की आदत है, and some of us are ones who are able to chill out and ठीक है हो गया ठीक है नहीं. So whatever you are, stay true to that. ठीक है. And if तुम्हें अगर last minute तक if you are used to preparing till the last minute and suddenly you leave it, तुमको tension हो जाएगी वो मत करो. So whatever works best for you or whatever has worked best for you for the last so many years is what you should continue with. Secondly, very, very important, none of us can predict what is going to be the paper this year. Okay, we have already heard a few of these people talk about the fact that 30 they thought they was a good attempt, but it was not a good attempt. Okay, and hence you need to be clear about that. Your task is not to go into the paper thinking itna attempt बहुत है. जो होगा करो. Whether it is low or high, don't worry about it. Whatever happens is good enough for you. Okay, don't go with that fixed template की हर section में मेरे को इतना ही करना है. It could be high. The actual requirement could be higher or lower. And either way, if you go with a set template, you will struggle in the paper. Okay? And Gautam, Satish has also joined. So maybe we can just ask Satish to introduce himself very briefly. Gautam, outline दे दो Satish को.
Yeah, Satish. A minute introduction. GDPI, PDP interview nahi hai. So be bindas, be chilled out. Elements which will help.
Okay. Basically, my name is Satish Sharma. I completed my graduation from Sanjeev College Ranchi in BSc Mathematics in 2017. Then I got a year down and unfortunately completed my graduation in 2018. Meanwhile, I started as a mathematics faculty in IMS. I taught for around about 2 years. After that, I started teaching in a school. Then unfortunately, COVID came in between. And then I again started teaching for CAT, where I started my own coaching called Mission IIM. And there I taught for 4 years. And then I appeared for, then I had been throughout the year, I have been appearing for CAT. And this year, I fortunately decided to go for my MBA, and I appeared for CAT. And I'm pursuing my MBA from IIFT Kolkata.
Brilliant. So we've got two students with a math background. We've got 3 students with drops. One with a 2-year drop, one with a 6-year drop, one with student who, in your lingo, guys, flunked a year in college. Let's put it like that. आप लोग की भाषा में मेरा तो back आ गया है, कुछ नहीं होगा जिंदगी में. So there is a person here in front of you जो उस back के बावजूद is at IIFT Calcutta. So I think this is a very good representation of all different kinds of
students. Gautam, some people start thinking ये ऐसा होना अच्छी बात है. कि अगर ये ऐसा होगा तो कॉल आ जाएगी.
And one more thing to mention, sir. One more thing to mention. Unfortunately, I have preferred somewhere. Unfortunately, I failed my priority IIFT Kolkata as my first priority, and being in the first list, I am residing in IIFT Kolkata.
Very good. Okay, that is new. Otherwise, Anurag and you all would have probably been sitting in the same room right now, but currently you are in other places. But this is a very good representation. I think a good representation set across the board that we have to answer students' questions. एक जो मैं specifically pick up करना चाहता हूँ because we've spoken a little bit about PYQs as well. We've spoken a little bit about mocks, and I'm sure there'll be at least 1 or 2 of you all out of the 5-6 here who would have probably gone ahead and experienced this. That in the PYQs, you all are not. I think if I'm not wrong, one of Shruti or Aman also pointed it out कि 23 का paper लिखा था, or maybe Anurag stated, somebody stated it कि 23 का paper लिखा था लेकिन वो अच्छा नहीं गया. So if PYQs a student is not scoring well, mocks लेकिन okay चल रहे हैं, so is there hope कि कोई miracle चाहिए?
Of course, I think.
Satish, you've not answered. You start.
I think
yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, I'll basically start with VRC. If you'll talk about my VRC, in all the mocks, in some of the mocks where I have been scoring very good score, my score in VRC was 4 and 5. And in none of the exams, like 2022, 2023, and 2024, in none of the exam, I had scored less than 20 marks in VRC. First of all, my strategy was very simple. In VRC, I have understood, in all the mocks, VRC was on the tougher side. But CAT is used to be on easier side. Even if you are able to understand the passage, 60-70% of the passage, you will literally be able to answer the 16-17 question easily in the exam. So since I was also in the teaching field, so I had a perception CAT has to be easier than what comes there in all the mocks. This I have understood.
Also,
can
to
I
answer
take
the
that?
question, yeah, please go.
Yeah. So this used to happen with me as well, like scoring good in PYQs and bit less in mock. So what I used to think is the level, as GP sir said, the the people who said cat paper are different, and the people who said mock papers are different. So I used to calm myself that ठीक है कैट PYQs में अच्छा आ रहा है तो उम्मीद रखेंगे उस दिन भी अच्छा होगा. लेकिन आई यूज टू बैक माई सेल्फ एंड आई यूज टू थिंक दैट एक मॉक में कम आ गया तो ठीक है, तो क्या ही होगा, ये तो सिर्फ मॉक है, असली कैट तो अभी बाकी है. तो इस पे क्या गलत हुआ उसके ऊपर फोकस करेंगे और इससे सीखेंगे. तो इट वाज माय अप्रोच. तो विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू मार्क्स आई डोंट रिमेम्बर लाइक the what marks I used to get, but it was relatively less in mocks compared to PYQs. And hope for a miracle, yes, miracles do happen. You have to hope for it.
What about the reverse? So these are example of two students who found PYQ slightly easier, that mock scored a little better there. Anybody here for whom it was the reverse? I think one of Aman or Anurag, somebody had stated 23 का देख के अच्छा नहीं गया था.
So it was my case. I think 23 mock didn't go well for me in the last week, whereas the mocks from Career Launcher were better for me. And what I did was, again, I did not take it to heart that much. I just, after the mock, I gave the entire mock without time. And then after that, I saw the video solutions for it as well. So that if there was any other efficient solution or any other jugaad that was there, I would just know that. So over the last week, don't focus too much on marks, because there will be a lot of variation, because there are a lot more students or maybe a lot less students giving the exams as well. So just try to focus on the analysis after the mock, or if you feel there is any particular section, I will still say you can give a sectional and you can feel maybe more confident in that section.
Basically, irrespective, mock अच्छा जा रहा है, PYQ अच्छा जा रहा है. There is a good set out here, and that kind of goes ahead and categorically answers. You don't know what will happen on the day. If your mind is relaxed, if you're calm, if you're composed, the day can turn out to be, very, very fruitful. If you're stressed, if you're worried, and we hope that doesn't happen, but we'll end up seeing you again in CAT 26. Stress is going to be the problem. Let that not be the issue. उसके लिए स्पेशल अपॉइंटमेंट श्रुति से अगर लेनी हो ले लेना. How to handle stress. Shruti, we might need a session from you.
Absolutely, would love to.
Okay, getting back to some of the questions which were there, I think important. So how many mocks did you all take in the last 7 days? Just a number, guys.
3.
3, okay. Others?
I took 5.
5.
I just took 2,
6.
and that too last was on Wednesday, and after that I just chilled.
So 2. Somebody said 6. Who was 6?
It's me. Saturday I didn't take. I remember Saturday I was completely chilling. So so each day, previous year question paper I used to solve on slot 3. That's it.
So 2, 3, 5 and 6 आ गया है. Now it is up to you. We have 4 options. कैट में इतने ही होते हैं, जो चूज करना है कर लो. my reco, maybe if I were to give one, छोटा मुंह बड़ी बात है, but I would say don't go for 5 or 6. यार थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया, ये लोग ने थोड़ी ज्यादा ही मेहनत कर ली है. इतना स्ट्रेस मत लो जिंदगी में. Maybe last 2 days just relax a little. And if I'm not wrong, GP, your movie was जाने भी दो यारो, right? Last 2 days में.
यार याद नहीं क्या किया था मुझे frankly. But but it would have been one of those kind of movies only. नहीं यार शायद actually कुछ भी नहीं था. Actually I was working यार. But बहुत पुरानी बात
I don't
है.
know why I thought we some
Yeah, that's the movie I love.
कभी आपने बोला था.
But if I have to watch a movie before my exam, that's the kind of movie I will watch. I would watch a movie. किशोर कुमार की मेरी एक बहुत favorite movie है, Half Ticket. I would watch that kind of a movie. I would watch those Govinda, Sanjay Dutt kind of movies जिसका कोई सरप्राइज नहीं होता. Those are the kind of movies I have always enjoyed. And basically tension वाली चीज पसंद नहीं आती मुझे. So that's what I would typically do. But when I was taking CAT, I think I was working. यानी a day before that I would have been in my job. तो और कुछ नहीं किया होगा मैंने ज़्यादा.
Actually, that is good, right? So all of those who are working, please don't take a leave in the last week is what I would recommend. घर में बैठ के ज़्यादा stress ले लोगे. Okay, maybe a question to y'all. How many of y'all scored 95 plus in more than say 3-4 mocks? Okay. Reverse करता हूँ. In less than scored 95 plus in less than 3-4 mocks. I see one. Across the board, there are two. Okay, so two of you all scored less than 95 in, or more than 95 in less than 3-4 mocks. So y'all, and both of them ended up at good colleges. So anything y'all want to tell the students out there who are worried, यार 95 plus enough नहीं आया, actual CAT में क्या होगा?
I'll say only one thing, like whatever had happened in your mock, keep it aside. There is CAT in front of you, and CAT has to be easy. If you're prepared well, if you can read, if you can read and understand well, if whatever is appearing in your mock, even there would be something easier than that. So just have a perception. Like a CAT is all about if you can read and understand. Like in the options, they're options are much tougher in mocks. I personally found in mocks it was tough to eliminate the option. In CAT, it's easy to eliminate the option.
Siddesh?
So if you ask me, मेरा marks बहुत vary हो जाता था. Sometimes it used to sit at 85, 80 percentile. Sometimes it used to sit at 99, 98. So I was never worried about that. I was always going back to the root cause. Like, why did I do this wrong? Do I have enough knowledge to do this? There were some parts I didn't even touch. I know I should not be saying this, but there were some parts in DLR and quants I didn't even touch. So I decided if there is any question comes from that, I'll not do. So whichever I was good at, so I used to go back and just analyze. My whole last week was just analysis. Was I able to maximize my output based on the knowledge I have? That's it. Nothing other than that.
Yeah, no reason to say that you should not be saying it. I think it's factual. That will happen with many students out there. I'm sure there are many out there who've still not even looked at modern math. पता ही नहीं होगा modern math में topics कौन से हैं. वो तो reality होगी. So there is nothing to worry about it. I think if that is the truth, it is the truth. It's as simple as that. Yeah, coming back, let's have a look at a few more questions that you all had put out. Any fixed schedule, or do you want to be flexible over the last week? Start with you, Shruti.
Again, I think it depends on where you're standing, but overall, it would be fixed in a way. If you're working, you would have a set routine where you do say where you're going to work or where you're, preparing for CAT. So my recommendation would be, I mean, I had a fixed routine where I'd wake up at this time, do this much at this time. But the crux of it would be don't do anything that is extraordinarily out of your way. So say if you want to go for a movie with your friends, do that. But make sure that the movie is not something which will trigger you or cause you stress. Or if you're someone who will get panicked by going for a 3-hour movie and be like, oh my God, I wasted so much time, then don't do that. So keep it very light on the brain. If you're someone who really likes food, go for it, but make sure that it's not something that will catch you sick, or will give you an infection. So be in your limits, be flexible in your limits, but don't be too hard on yourself at the same time. But one thing that I would really recommend is do take any mock, or not just mock, any studying that you're doing related to CAT, do it in your slot hours. So for me, it was actually, I mean, I never did a mock at my 8:30 a.m. slot. I never did. But on the final day, I do remember, I mean, I could not sleep through the night also. I was very panicked over it. So I got like 3-4 hours of sleep. But in the morning, it was a little bit chaotic for me. So don't be me in that way. But those 2 hours may definitely study or mock or sectional, whatever it is.
Yeah, man. Anything you'd like to add?
As Shruti said, the only fixed part of my entire week was the mock timing during that week, and because I had the morning slot, I slept at around 10:30, 11 every day during those days, and got up about an hour or two before the mock, because I just wanted to know how I'd feel if I were traveling to the exam center as well, and how fresh I would be. So giving those mocks and being awake at that time for that entire week did, I think, help on the D day, where I was a lot more fresh and more active. And I just knew that the early hours won't be an issue. So just as Shruti said, be prepare, do something during those that slot.
Ensure basically you're getting your brain accustomed to be
Mm.
working in those 2 hours.
Yes.
I think that's the most important. That's the takeaway from what everybody's stating. Guys, our team is telling us, Neha and Shruti, not enough likes. Please go ahead, ensure there are hundreds of y'all here. Go ahead and ensure there are enough likes so that they also get motivated. And let me pick up a few questions from the chat box now. Uh, okay. Uh, okay, so can you please ask them what were their favorite books or novels to read during preparation? Anybody here read a novel or something during preparation? I don't know whether that's helping in the last 7 days, but okay.
I used to read some crime thrillers, but not in the last 7 days.
Con
So
con author
before
con?
that, it's
Which author?
basically it's a Kannada novel since I come from Karnataka. So I
Ah,
used to read that just for relaxation. So there's an author called Ravi Belagere.
okay. So not helping
Uh,
in VARC.
no, 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 definitely not.
Okay, cool. So relaxation mode. Anybody who read anything कि VARC में help होगा इसकी वजह से?
I mean, I used to read newspapers and editorials from those websites. I don't remember now. But because I never enjoyed it, हमेशा हमें बोलते थे कि हाँ ये पढ़ो तो marks improve होगा. So I used to push myself कि यार एक तो पढ़ना ही है रोज. But the day CAT ended, I stopped. So I don't even remember now what are the articles. But that
Yeah,
I used to do in the last week.
I'm sure newspaper has continued as
Yeah, yeah,
some
that has
summer
continued.
internship के लिए बहुत जरूरत पड़ी होगी सिप के time.
But if I may add something, I mean, I'm not sure how relevant it is in the last week. So what I did early on was, of course, we were told to read Aeon essays, and it was a very gruesome process for even someone who considers VRC to be the strongest. They were long and very painful. But anyway, what I did through the process was I created a list of words which were difficult for me, not from the point of cat, but from the point of nmat and snap, because I was sitting for them also, and they had a little difficult little different format for the English sections. So if you have made something of that for yourself in the last week, go over the words, because you would have a bunch of words that you would have marked and would like to revisit. So that only, and do, I mean, if you have some sort of a newspaper subscribed to, so do read some sort of editorial or something to keep your reading speed in check. And another thing that I'd like to say for that is, if you're someone who reads hard copies, you can open Eon essays on your laptop, because that day you'll be reading on the desktop and you'll not have your trackpad with you. So I was very used to scrolling through my trackpad. You'll have a mouse. So if you have a mouse, try using that. If you don't, get accustomed to reading on the screen rather than the hard copies.
Valid. And since you brought that up, Shruti, we had it for later in the session, but since you've already brought it up, how many of y'all wrote NMAT, SNAP, ZAT, at least one of the other exams other than CAT? हाथ ऊपर कर लो दिख जाएगा. I can see everybody, right? Yeah, everybody. So any recommendations there? Because I don't know whether you're all aware or not, but NMAT to you all know starts before CAT, so it's already started and will continue till about the 16th to the 18th of December. This year SNAP, the first exam is on the 6th, so that's like 5 days after CAT. 30th is CAT. 6th and for I think 14th and 19th, 14th and 19th, something like that. That's those are the 3 dates. So students don't have much time for that. And that, as always, is the first Sunday of January, which is the 4th. So any recos from your end in terms of what students can do for those exams as well, because the SNAP exam, like I stated, will be just 1 week after that. Secondly, I'm sure in your own friend group, in your own study groups, you all might have come across students for whom CAT might not have gone off that well, but they did end up doing well in an NMAT or a SNAP or a ZAT. So any recos from that perspective as well? Maybe we could start with you, Shruti, since you brought up the non-cat funda.
Absolutely. So, one mistake that I did was I took NMAT before in October itself, late October, and I scored great in NMAT. But because of that, I mean, it gave me a lot of confidence for CAT, but I took SNAP very lightly. And even after the CAT D-Day happened, I took ZAT very lightly. Don't do that. It's a very, I mean, I would not recommend it to anyone, no matter how well you're scoring in your CAT mocks, in your PYQs. There are sectional differences also, and within section also, your English will not be the same as what it is for CAT, right? So once your CAT is done, think of pushing a little bit more. It'll just be a month and a half more, 2 months at max. But the grind only gets going. Even when you get to an MBA school, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't get easier, right? So the space you're at is very good. Keep pushing a little bit, but don't take any of them lightly. For me also, like sir said, one of my friends could not clear the sectional cutoff in CAT, but she's at XLRI today and she's doing touchwood very well. So don't take that lightly at all. I did. I thought it is decision making hi to hai basic. It's not, but keep at it. Do it. But of course, for that, don't start preparing today. Do it after your CAT day, but keep at it.
Absolutely. What about the others? Aman, Anurag, Siddesh.
So I took all the exams after CAT itself. So I didn't give snap. बाकी सब में दे दिया था. So after writing CAT, I got a kind of confidence, like in I can do well. So again, I used to do the question paper analysis in the last 5-6 days, like what they're asking in previous year papers. I used to literally note down like how many questions are there from each topic, on what topic they're focusing currently last 2-3 years, like on what topic they're neglecting. If there are just 1 or 2 questions from certain topics, I used to ignore them. If there are 5-6 questions from arithmetic progression or profit and loss, I used to focus more on that. So each exam for XAT, NMAT, I used to see the previous year papers, do the question paper analysis, and I used to re-modify my strategy.
Anurag, Aman, anything else? Anything different from what Shruti and Siddesh have stated?
I think I'd only given NMAT other than CAT, and I'd given it about 10 days after the CAT exam. And just because NMAT is, I think, a 3-hour paper as compared to CAT being a 2-hour paper, if I remember
NMAT is
that.
2 hours.
Is
NMAT
it
is
2
2 hours.
hours? I think the amount of questions are more
Yeah.
then. Something is
Yeah,
different in the format.
108
180
questions. 108 questions.
Yes,
36
yes.
per section. Per section.
In those 2 hours. So just to be more accustomed with the format of NMAT, I'd given a few sectionals and a few mocks, and that's all I did for the preparation of NMAT. And I just giving it a few days after CAT was helpful because I was already in that mood of giving papers and I'd already prepared quite a bit. So that helped.
Perfect. Anything, Anurag, anything different?
So I took all my exams after CAT. I gave NMAT just 1 week after CAT, and then NMAT was on Saturday, SNAP was on Sunday, then another SNAP attempt a week later, and then I had a 15 days gap before that. So why I chose that? Because SNAP and NMAT are very speed-based tests. I mean, I don't think there is a lot of difference in the syllabus, but what is different is the format of the paper, how you approach that paper. In NMAT, you are not supposed to leave any question. So you have to get yourself accustomed to that कि अगर नहीं हो रहा है इसमें फटाफट मार्क करके आगे जाओ. For Snap, there are 60 questions, 60 minutes, and कोई sectional time नहीं है. So you have to make sure that you don't ponder a lot on a particular section. अगर मान लो quant strong है तो ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ quants में ही करना, because there are sectional cutoffs and sometimes the other sections can be quite scoring. So I chose to give that all after CAT because if I remember, NMAT का window बहुत close to CAT था and I was like CAT में पूरा focus करना and then change the format. One more thing, once you have given CAT, you will have that anxiety in you कि कितना marks आ रहा है, कितना percentile आया, because everyone around you will be discussing that. Score calculators रोल हो रहे होंगे इन Telegram पे, सब लोग discuss करेंगे कि अरे मेरा तो इतना है, तुझे कितना आ रहा है, इस calculator पे इतना दिख रहा है, उसमें उतना दिख रहा है, correction है कि नहीं है. So all that anxiety will be there. But since you have given CAT, that is the big fish in the pond. So after that you can be quite relaxed. मतलब मैंने starting में 2 mocks दिया And then I was just, I mean, I for snap and mat I just focus on mocks क्योंकि उसमें रिवीजन करने का इतना फैसिलिटी नहीं है. If I remember the actual NMAT portal, you cannot analyze mocks as smoothly and seamlessly as you can do that in CAT. So I used to focus a lot on that कि speed अच्छा रहना चाहिए मेरा, कौन से topics है जो मेरे अच्छे नहीं हो रहे, maybe revise a bit and then give a mock again. And then for that, it is said that it's a bit difficult than CAT, but I don't believe that क्योंकि section different है, इसके लिए लगता है कि यार ये तो बहुत difficult है. But just stay relaxed in that. It is a really good, मतलब बहुत अच्छे opportunities आते हैं SAT से, people take that very lightly. But SAT से not just XLRI, there are many other colleges that open through SAT. And
Absolutely.
मेरा थोड़ा personal दुश्मनी था SAT से, तो I mean I scored 99.2 last year and I didn't get a call from SAT because I missed a DM sectional cutoff. So I was like, yeah, अच्छे से करना है. So I mean, take it really seriously. It can open a lot of opportunities for you.
Perfect. I think important inputs. Satish, I think, has dropped off. You wanna
Gautam,
add?
एक question है. I think I'll just put it up इसको. Those of you who had the second or the third slot last year, क्या किया था तुमने? Because many students ask this question कि क्या करना चाहिए. So I thought I'll just ask all of you.
See, even if anyone says that मैं analysis नहीं देखूंगा, you won't be able to stop yourself. क्योंकि बाकी सब लोग देख रहे हैं. And you will be like, अरे कैसा है, मेरे को मालूम पड़ जाए तो अच्छा है. Mine was slot 3 and since I got to know that the paper is very easy, I was very relaxed. कि हाँ, मैंने तो बहुत, क्योंकि because CAT 23 was difficult and all our mocks were difficult for that season. But जब पता चला कि easiest paper of maybe a decade आया है, I was very relaxed. I मतलब मैं बैडमिंटन खेलने जा रहा हूँ सुबह and then आराम से लंच करके जा रहे हैं हम लोग सेंटर पे, वहां पे जल्दी जाके बैठ गए, पानी पी रहे, टेस्ट दे रहे, आ गए. तो प्लीज डू वॉच एनालिसिस बट डोंट ओवरवेलम योरसेल्फ. बहुत ज्यादा कंटेंट नहीं देखना, बस देख लो कि कुछ फॉर्मेट में चेंज हुआ है and what is the difficulty. Just see that and don't overwhelm yourself क्योंकि बहुत लोग आके बोलेंगे कि पेपर टफ था, maybe because they haven't prepared well. तो जो जो हमारे mentors बोल रहे, just listen to them and just stop it there. Don't listen to a lot of opinions because that will confuse you and attention divert नहीं होना चाहिए, और main focus should be कि मेरे पेपर में मुझे अच्छा करना है. So just focus on that.
See, if I may, I'd like to give a different opinion. When you look for analysis, okay, right, all the mentors or all the educational platforms like say CL or TACO or anything, they'll be wanting to go about it in a systematic way and they'll take their time to release proper information. But while you're waiting for this, you might come across somebody who's taking a video outside the center and telling you about it, and that'll be very chaotic.
We do. we do.
No,
First
but no,
impressions.
but apart from that, also like there's a lot of chaos outside the center because somebody has done it really well, but for somebody it would not have been that well, right? So if I mean, if you get to know that there has been a change in the number of questions, you'll be able to that's relevant information, but beyond that also you can't really filter out a lot of information. So for someone what is easy might be difficult for you and vice versa. So I would say don't get overwhelmed and don't go digging for information. So if you have a friend or someone, ask them and just tell them, give them instructions, only tell me this, ask for pointed information so you get pointed information. Otherwise there'll be a lot of noise which you won't be able to filter out, and you don't want that to impact your performance.
One more thing I would like to add is that last year CL ने किया था ये, that just after the paper, whichever mentor took that test, they would come online and they would just quickly give a brief कि क्या format में change हुआ है and what is the difficulty level related to the students की उनके level पे. ऐसा नहीं कि रवि तेजा सर हैं या जीपी सर है तो उनके लिए तो सब कौन सी easy है. They understand कि students का level क्या है and accordingly they say कि हाँ इतना difficult है, इतना easy है. तो just listen to that. उसके बाद एक long analysis होता है. You can of course skip that if you are in slot 2. slot 3 है तो मे बी वॉच अ फ्यू क्वेश्चन कि कैसे टाइप के आ रहे हैं. एंड अगर थोड़ा डिफरेंट हो गया, सपोज मॉडर्न मैथ अचानक से आ गया, डोंट पैनिक. उसमें फिर भी अलजेब्रा एंड बाकी जो वेटेज रहता है उनमें रहेगा. लास्ट में स्ट्रेस नहीं रहना. इवन द सोर्स वुड से that even if you are not prepared, just focus on your strengths and do them well.
Yeah, to add on to what Anurag said, my slot was also slot 3, and I was traveling. I remember I gave CAT in Delhi, and I had to travel a lot. If I don't, it was around 1.5 hour of metro travel. And when I was going in metro, many students were seeing analysis. So I asked them like, how was it? They said it was easy. Then I am done. I will not dig deep. They are telling it's easy for them. It will be easy for me also. I have done enough preparation. Chalega. Bas. I literally didn't see any analysis or anything. I just went and gave.
I'll just add a
I
couple
actually
of
like
things.
that point. Yeah,
Yeah,
GP.
I'll just add a couple of things to this, Ismail. See, if the paper is easy, remember it will be easy for everyone. Okay. Also, if it is difficult, remember it will be difficult for everyone. So the only reason I would personally, हमारे time पे तो था नहीं, but if I was one of the students, the only reason I would want to do to check what is happening is just to get a broad idea. अच्छा, number of questions the same, structure is by and large the same. By and large, is it similar to last year in terms of difficulty or higher? Just to orient myself, but I will not go by it fully for the simple reason between the two slots also the level of difficulty changes. There's no guarantee that slot 1 and slot 2 in quant will be same level of difficulty, or English or DILR will be same level of difficulty. So the level of difficulty across the section, across the three slots will change, or it does change. So take that it was easy or difficult with a pinch of salt, but yes, you'll get the broad big picture की directionally क्या है. Directionally last year से थोड़ा सा आसान है या मुश्किल है, थोड़ा सा idea लग जाएगा, and that should be good enough for you.
इसमें just one thing that I'll add, GP, is like I think Siddesh stated कि suddenly you've heard कि modern math आ गया. You know, ऐसी चीजें जब होती है, students who prepared seriously should become very happy. For two reasons. Number one, automatically competition is filtered out. Number two, आपको ये पता है, if you can maintain your calm and composure and realize what he just stated कि अभी भी enough algebra है, अभी भी enough arithmetic है, you will end up going ahead and scoring while some part of your competition is going to take stress. मैंने modern math नहीं पढ़ा और modern math आ गया. Please keep in mind, this is a proper RG exam. For those of y'all who are in B school, you know what I mean. It's a proper relative grading exam. Three Idiots is a very nice movie. I love it for multiple reasons, but one reason that I really love it for is relative grading. बहुत अच्छे से वो समझाते हैं उस movie में. You know, it is not about how well you have done. Sometimes you doing average and everybody else doing worse or bad means that you will end up performing very well as well. So please maintain that and keep that in mind. If you maintain your calm, हाँ GP.
Gautam, I'll just interrupt again. ये modern maths आ गया. देखो, if I know modern maths, I'll be happy. कि आ गया, चलो अच्छा मेरे को फायदा हो जाएगा. If I don't know modern maths, I'll be happier. क्योंकि अब मेरे को मालूम है 22 में से 4 सवाल नहीं करने, मेरे को 18 सवाल है. I have ample time to do what I want to do. So to me, these things are, because when you look at papers in the past, yes, there are changes, but the changes are always not significant changes. Minor changes happen. 2 की जगह 3 सवाल आ गए, 3 की जगह 4 सवाल आ गए. So nothing to be really worried about as such. Satish,
and like I stated, competition भी थोड़ा
yes, sir.
filter out हो जाता है.
Satish, since you are not visible, जब भी तुम्हें बोलना हो बीच में बोल देना, हमें पता नहीं चलेगा otherwise.
Yes, sir. The camera is not working. Exactly.
No problem.
तो बेसिकली I'll say कि जैसे कि मान लो कि तुम्हारा पेपर आ रहा है, ठीक है? Nobody knows कि D-Day को क्या आएगा, कुछ भी आ सकता है. और CAT I have seen like 2023 was very tough, 2024 is very easy. Same goes with 17 and 18. So I have seen all the paper. I'll say only thing that matters that whether you are able to select easy question or not. That's the only game. Whether paper is easy or tough, nothing matters. Just pick the easy question, solve it, move on. Let's say कि अगर मान लो LRDI लास्ट साल के जैसा आसान आ जाता है या डिफिकल्ट आ जाता है, अगर तुम्हें कोई क्वेश्चन आता नहीं है और लेट्स से इवन इफ पेपर इज इजी, तुम्हें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता यार. अगर आसान सवाल है, लेट्स से श्रुति के लिए वो सवाल काफी आसान है और पूरे इंडिया के लिए आसान सवाल है और तुम्हें नहीं आ रहा है, डोंट अटेम्प्ट दैट इजी क्वेश्चन. आई विल गिव एन एग्जांपल. कैट 2022 में जब मैंने थर्ड स्लॉट दिया था, उसमें एक ML AI वाली सेट आई है और मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल हैव टोल्ड कि यार वो सेट, वो LRDI काफी टफ है, लेकिन आई पिक दैट सेट. दैट वाज माय फर्स्ट सेट एंड आई फाउंड दैट सेट वेरी इजी, so I attempted that set. I don't know about whether other people are able to solve it or not. For me that was easy, so I attempted it. So same way, pick a question. If you are able to solve it, even if GP sir is not able to solve it and you are able to solve it, that's an easy question for you.
हाँ, बस ये देख लेना कितना टाइम लगाया उसको सॉल्व करने में, ये एक बात प्लीज देख लेना. आधा घंटा.
और ऑल्सो ड्यूरिंग द पेपर यू विल नॉट नो कि जीपी सर सॉल्व कर पाते हैं कि नहीं कर पाते हैं. तुम्हें तो अपना पेपर करना है ना, मेरे को भूल जाओ. यू वरी अबाउट योरसेल्फ. Okay, but there's another thing which happened in the paper. As far as I think Aman ने बोला था ना कि she had a very good center, बहुत peaceful था, लोग बहुत अच्छे थे. But that is not what typically happens. So for the others, if your center was a little chaotic, how did you handle it?
Shruti, your system not operating for 7 minutes. I'm guessing that is quite chaotic.
I mean, I don't know if it was my center thing or not. Everything was all over the place. They were running really late. So for me, it started at 8:30. I mean,
Which
I was
center
able
was
to get.
this?
This is in Gurgaon. One of the schools. I don't remember the name of the school. Gyan Bharati
बता देना
Public
ताकि
School.
बच्चे जिनका वो स्लॉट है, जिनका वो सेंटर है, वो प्लीज आधा पौना घंटा पहले पहुंच जाना ताकि ये आपके साथ ना हो.
So it's irrespective of when you reach,
क्या
actually.
श्रुति?
But I mean, the question on the screen
Okay,
is
you can't do anything.
very valid, because how, irrespective of whether there is disturbance or not, VARC requires a lot of focus. So even if you don't have any disturbance, it might just take you 5 minutes to get in the loop of reading the RCs and answering them. So a recommendation that I'd give for that is ki at home, when I used to do the mock, I used to lock my door and I used to tell everyone that, just don't disturb me. And I used to put my phone also off and everything. Don't try doing that now, but just know at the back of your hand that it will not be your system and it will not be your comfort zone. So if you train your brain that it will not be in your comfort zone and you will have to step out of your comfort zone, it'll be easier. Because I was expecting Aman Center, that I was expecting ki, utopian world, it's such an important exam, how can they be messing this up? But it's India, please come to reality. It's not
Aman,
your own.
there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people who are going to hate you after today for having received a utopian experience during CAT, and they will hate you more if they don't experience it in their actual CAT. So थोड़ा बच के.
So, and
Back to you, Shruti.
on top of it, my exam center was actually in a business school in Delhi. So I was actually experiencing the cat in a business school, and that too very near to my house. So I don't know, like.
So more reasons to hate Aman.
अमन की
At least you did
किस्मत
not
बहुत
have enough
अच्छी है
reasons.
यार.
Now there are more.
यानी घर के बगल में भी सेंटर मिल गया, शांतिपूर्वक भी पेपर निकल गया, कोई ग्लिच कहीं पे नहीं हुआ, पड़ोसी बहुत अच्छे थे. अमन, you really are lucky.
Thank you, sir.
But one thing I would recommend is that, so when my mouse was not working, even the center people, the admin was facing a lot of chaos because their verification thing was not working and there were a lot of students in the queue. So they refused to change my mouse. They said, make do with it. So after a minute, like I had to do a lot of you and cry, ki, please change my thing. It's not fair for you to, like, my mouse is genuinely not working. So if need be, don't be complacent and sit with a system which is not working. Force them a little and be like, mera system change karo.
And mouse not working is a very
I
common feature. And if it is not
Yeah.
working, please make sure you get it changed immediately.
And please check it before. I think that is also very important. ये नहीं कि VRC section के लिए wait कर रहे हो, चल रहा है कि नहीं. होता क्या है, because Shruti was just pointing this out, and especially for people who got verbal as the first slot, while we come to the others, please spend time reading the instructions. उसमें ऊपर नीचे scroll कर लो, उसमें कुछ click कर लो, दो चार चीजें कर लो, उससे you get into the groove of reading as well. Plus कई बार होता क्या है ना, this has happened once before in CAT, where a lot of people and in fact last year also, people did not realize 22 questions है DILR में. Habit नहीं है पूरा section देखने के लिए, instructions पढ़े नहीं, assume करके आ गए वही 20 होंगे. So it happened with a lot of people. So read instructions for multiple reasons. One of them is to get into the groove of reading. 5-7 minutes read करके you enter into the section. And उसमें थोड़ा अपना mouse also please test properly, scroll up हो रहा है, down हो रहा है and everything, because they don't let you do all of that before the paper. Before the paper, you're actually staring at a blank screen जहाँ पे आप कुछ नहीं कर सकते. And I'll get you all to speak about it, because मेरे लिए at least, as a guy who wrote CAT almost a decade back and now writes it in a non-serious mode, not like y'all, but even for me it is disturbing, sitting in front of a screen for 15 minutes and not doing anything. I don't have the patience for it. कुछ करने की हमेशा होता है कि कुछ करना है. So you all won't be able to do anything for the first 15-20 minutes, but after that, please go ahead and do check your mouse and everything कि सब ठीक से चल रहा है. And like somebody stated, I think किसी ने यहाँ पे कुछ लिखा था, one sec. एक बहुत ही अच्छी स्टेटमेंट थी फ्रॉम अथर्व. और कुछ होना हो, किसी का फोन नंबर लेके तो घर पहुंच गया था, बिकॉज स्क्रीन पे लिखा हुआ था फोन नंबर. So hopefully life is made, Atharv, post that.
Gautam,
Okay,
Gautam,
yeah,
I
what about
just
the
have to
others?
emphasize again, यार instructions बहुत जरूरी हैं. Now I always recommend you read instruction not once but 2-3 times. क्योंकि वो 10-15 मिनट if you keep reading again and again, when you go into the VARC section, it becomes easier to start that section. And secondly, as Gautam said, कि यार there you should know exactly what is there in the paper. Okay? And I'll probably go to a time before when I'm. How many of you are? I'm sure practically all of you would be born after 1990, na? I'm going back
Yes,
to
sir.
1990
Me
when I
just
took
before,
CAT for
GP.
myself. You just before, just managed. Okay, I'm going to the my CAT paper. Till CAT 89, we used to have 4 sections with sectional time limits for each of the 4 sections. CAT 1990 was 2-hour paper, no sectional time limits, and 3 sections: Quant, which include DILR, and English and RC. So verbal and RC were separate sections. That happened in that year, and in my room there were students who did not read the instructions. सीधा paper करने बैठ गए, and they were waiting for someone to tell them कि time खत्म हो गया, अगले section पे जाओ, which is what used to happen till the year before. Okay, so that
An
should never
important बात
happen.
GP ये पेपर पेंसिल था.
हाँ, वो
Important बात
paper
आपके टाइम
pencil
पेपर
test था.
पेंसिल था, तो ऑन स्क्रीन
And at
टाइमर
the
नहीं.
end of
ऑन स्क्रीन टाइमर
हाँ,
नॉट
तब तक ना, at that point of time, typically English used to be some 20 minutes or 25 minutes. I don't remember the English, the verbal section, not the RC section. It was 20 or 25 minutes. I think it was 25 minutes. So at the end of 40 minutes, someone said, "Sir, is the time over for section 1?" He said, "What time? Have you not read the instructions?" So उस बंदे का तो पेपर बर्बाद हो गया होगा, बट मुझे उस टाइम बहुत खुशी हुई थी आईजी वाली कि ठीक है, इसके जैसे और भी बहुत होंगे जिन्होंने इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं देखी होगी, अपना पेपर बर्बाद के लिए, चलो मेरा ठीक हो गया.
I think
Perfect.
another thing that I want to
Yeah.
add is, I mean, I hope you don't try to do that, but don't try to stare बाजू वाले के computer में. You'll only get distracted. So I had 2 scenarios. The one on my right was doing great and fut in the zone. The one on my left didn't write anything. Like they didn't solve any questions. So they would sit, no attempts. So don't get distracted and don't let that affect your performance. Focus on
Shruti, it
your
would be
skills.
one of us only, na? The one on your left is going to be one of us.
No, it was a student. It was 100% a
अच्छा.
student. I was very कि क्या है, but yeah, you go into thinking कि what is this person doing? Why are they
See,
here? No.
even there, I have a reco. If you face people like Shruti faced, especially the one on the right जो फट कर रहा है, assume कुछ नहीं आता, हर question का answer C mark कर रहा है. ठीक है? Just assume that कुछ नहीं आता है. So the mindset during the paper needs to be, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा तो किसी से नहीं हो रहा, मेरे से हो रहा है तो भी किसी से नहीं हो रहा. Okay, just ensure that that's the mindset. Focus on your screen and nothing else. आसपास assume सबकी लगी पड़ी है, नहीं हो रहा भाई. Okay, perfect. To those who were in slot 1, I think Shruti and Aman, you all were in slot 1. Specific request आ रहा है सर, slot 1 वालों के लिए भी कुछ बोल दो. हमारे पास तो कोई analysis होगा नहीं कुछ देखने का.
I was in this
तो
slot
हम क्या
1.
करें? हाँ, third one. There are 3 of you all in slot 1.
I personally
So
wanted
your
slot 1
recos.
because I
Yeah.
did not want to see any analysis. I just wanted to go on the D-Day with whatever preparation that I had. So my recommendation definitely would be to sleep on time, even though you do feel restless, but try to at least close your eyes and around 9:30, 10, and leave on time so that you reach on time, because in the morning you might not feel that fresh. So just sleep on time, and it's just good that maybe you're not able to see the analysis, so that you are just giving it your best with whatever preparation you have.
Perfect. Anything you'd want to add? Shruti,
Basically, what have I
Satish?
done?
Slot 1?
Basically, what have I done?
Yeah.
You can go to 3 if you want.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
तो बेसिकली व्हाट हैव आई डन, जैसे कि मान लो कि मेरा स्लॉट 1 था, तो मैंने क्या किया था कि सबसे पहले मैंने पहले से ही प्री प्लान स्ट्रेटजी करी थी। प्री प्लान स्ट्रेटजी क्या थी? जैसे वीआरसी है, तो मैंने अपनी स्ट्रेटजी घर पे ही लिख के रखी थी कि ओके, वीआरसी वुड बी देयर वुड बी वीआर6 सेक्शन, मैं इस तरीके से जाऊंगा कि अच्छा पहले वीए जाऊंगा, फिर आरसी जाऊंगा, आरसी में पहले सबका पहला पहला लाइन पढ़ूंगा। तो मैंने ये स्ट्रेटजी करी थी। फिर मैंने एलआरडीआई के लिए भी एक सिंपल सी स्ट्रेटजी कर ली थी कि मैं हर एलआरडीआई को पढ़ूंगा, एक एक मिनट देके, देन आई विल बी सेलेक्टिंग क्वेश्चन इन क्वांट, आई विल बी डूइंग इट इन दिस वेरी वे। ओके, तो ये मैंने करा था। और दूसरा, मैंने सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट एक चीज और करके रखा था, जो यूजुअली मुझे लगता है कि बहुत लोग पैनिक कर जाते हैं, और ये मैं कर जाता हूँ बीच बीच में कभी काल। तो मैंने क्या करा था, जब भी कैट का जो भी स्लॉट मुझे रफ सीट मिलता है, मैं उसके ऊपर हमेशा लिख लिख के रखता हूँ ड्रिंक वाटर इफ पैनिक, ड्रिंक वाटर, ड्रिंक वाटर। मैंने स्टार्टिंग के 8 पेज पे ये लिख के रखा था कि अगर मैं कहीं भी कुछ भी टैंक कर रहा हूँ या मुझे कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा तो ड्रिंक वाटर। तो वो पेज पे ही लिखा हुआ है मेरे, मैंने स्टार्टिंग में ही करके रखा, और ये मैं हर साल किया हूं लगभग। तो उससे क्या होता है, अगर मैं कहीं पैनिक कर रहा हूं तो मेरे लिए कामनेस ये काम करता था। आई डोंट नो अबाउट अदर पीपल, बंदे हो जो कहीं
गुड पॉइंट है सतीश, वेरी गुड पॉइंट।
यू गेट कैरिड अवे इन बिटवीन। तो वो पेज पे लिख के रखो, दिमाग पे जोर देने का जरूरत ही नहीं है, पेज पे लिखा हुआ है ड्रिंक वाटर।
Good point.
Yeah, Shruti, you are saying something.
Yeah, very small things. I mean, you have prepared for CAT and you've done your best, right? So what I'd say is small things pe focus karo, like have something to eat, have breakfast or something, or have a banana or something. Don't go empty stomach, because I think you have to report by 7 a.m. or something, and it'll take time. So you don't want anything to be messed up. Another thing, very small things, but I think belts and clutches are not allowed. So wear comfortable clothes. It might be a little cold. Like, so for example, when I stress, I feel colder. So have a layer. Or if you feel hotter when you stress, so wear something which you'll be able to remove. Have your comfortable pajamas, whatever. Just be comfortable. Keep water with you, and just try to calm yourself. So for example, for me, every exam thing since boards has been, yeah, listen to music on the way to the center. So don't be like you're seeing formula and at that time. So if you're someone who likes listening to music, or you want to listen to a podcast, so listen to those things. There'll be a lot of people in the queue when you're there for verification, and people will be in all sorts of moods. Somebody might be panicking, somebody might be super chill. So don't if I'm an extrovert, so I used to talk to people in the queue, aage piche, stressed ho jayega, koi baat nahi, ab to aa gaye hain. So that worked for me. I'd also stay calm. But like sir said, when you're staring at that screen, you can't talk to anyone. I tried making friends, but they'd shut me up. They'd be like, apne pe dekho. So then what do you do? So, I just sing a song in my head. So something like that. So just try to be easy breezy in the morning. And if you're someone who has, I don't know, stomach problems or something, just make sure that you clear everything and go, because you don't want end moment problems. The washroom at the center might not be the best. So if that's a factor for you, just be fresh in the morning and go, wake up early, take a shower. That'll get you in the zone. Don't go ki, I'll take a shower, okay, it's cold and all. Please don't do that. Just be as fresh as possible.
ये मत सोचना वहाँ एयर प्योरीफायर्स होंगे फॉर दोज इन दिल्ली एनसीआर, सो प्लीज बी प्रिपेयर्ड with whatever precautions you all need to take.
Assume that the centers will be
so
really bad, and अगर अमन जैसा सेंटर मिल गया तो अमन से जैसा नहीं भी मिला, नॉर्मल सेंटर ही मिल गया, you will still feel happy.
So our back-end admin team
I
is
want
having
to
fun.
I want to add one thing. बेसिकली अगर तुम्हारा एग्जाम अभी 1 वीक में है, तो एक बात सोच के देखो, तुम्हें पता नहीं तुम्हारा सेंटर पे जो इन्विजिलेटर होगा वो कैसा होगा, बगल वाला बंदा कैसा होगा, अगर तुम जा रहे हो तो जो रोडवे में तुम्हें पर्सन मिलेंगे वो कैसे होंगे। कुछ फैक्टर तुम्हारे हाथ में नहीं है। तुम्हारे हाथ में एक ही चीज है, दैट यू कैन कंट्रोल, यू स्टिक टू योर ओन स्ट्रैटेजी, रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग विल ऑटोमेटिकली फॉल इन प्लेस।
Lovely. Okay.
Gautam, I just चल ठीक है, चलो.
Let's get back to some of the questions here. Mock fluctuations. I think we've spoken about that, so I'll probably skip this. This is an important one. Any mistake that you made in the last week which you categorically want to point out? यार ये मत करना. Anybody? कोई गलती की तुम लोग ने?
लगता है ऐसा कोई मेजर मिस्टेक नहीं हुआ किसी से. ठीक है.
That's fine. Perfect. Nothing specific. So if you follow what these guys have stated, maybe that will help. If a mock goes well, if it doesn't go well, I think we've discussed this. Yeah. How do you handle overlapping exam dates, prep schedules, and mock tests? I think we've discussed that as well for the upcoming exams. A few students have asked this as well, considering एक week है और एक week के बाद a lot
गौतम,
of
उससे
them will
पहले
have
एक ये बहुत
started.
इंटरेस्टिंग कमेंट देखा है. Just before we
हाँ,
move on to
हाँ.
GDPI, ये बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे. Honestly, अब कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. मुझे कितने भी मार्क्स आए होंगे मॉक्स में, it doesn't matter. अब बस कैट में परफॉर्मेंस देख के आऊंगा, बाकी देखा जाएगा. That's the approach you need to have now.
Great
And as I
attitude.
said, जो ये बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे. अथर्व, great. Just focus on this and ठीक रहेगा सब. चलो. या चलो. GDPI पे लोग आ गए.
Yeah. I think I'm guessing the reason for this question is a lot of them who are probably already scoring well in mocks, confident कि होगा, have already started worrying कि भैया Sunday को आ गया CAT 7 days, and then उसके एक महीने में if nothing else IIM लखनऊ के तो इंटरव्यू शुरू हो ही जाएंगे. Because if I'm not wrong, Lucknow started around 15th or the 20th of Jan last year as well. It was one of the
21st Jan.
earliest to kickstart. 21st.
21st Jan in
So
Noida.
one of the earliest. Yeah, so one of the earliest to kickstart. So any specific recommendations? We will have a specific session on this, on GDPI prep and what should be done probably in the next week, the week after CAT, where all of them will be back, hopefully, and will not make an excuse of being very busy. Up chilled out life hai inki. So hope all of them will be back to share their insights on GDPI preparation. But yeah, anything specific you all want to add to this? When did you start your GDPI prep? Any 2 or 3 things to keep in mind? Please don't do anything related to that over the next 7 days. Yeah.
So I would say that CAT का result आ जाता है थोड़े time में. I mean not the percentiles, but they do release your answer key and what is the correct answer, so you can get an estimate की raw score क्या है
Response
मेरा.
sheet.
Obviously, yeah, response sheet.
Yeah,
But there
response
will be
sheet.
scaling, but you get an estimate कि हाँ मुझे around इतना percentile तो आ ही जाएगा. So you can wait till then and obviously focus on other exams if you have applied for them, because it's good to have options. अगर CAT अच्छा गया तो भी अगर और options है तो it's good, because GDPI is a different ball game. And I can tell you मुझे 99.7 से आया था and IIFT was my only call जो मैंने convert किया. GP sir knows that. Last तक हम लोग रुके हुए थे कि हो ही नहीं रहा कुछ convert. So it's good to have options. सारे exams को अच्छे से don't take them lightly. But if you know that you have scored well and you are going to get a good percentile, maybe some lucky calls, then you can start with your GDPI as well. Do that simultaneously. And once that is done, go full on for your GD prep and do well.
Yeah, I would like to add to. Go ahead, Shruti. Go ahead.
Go on.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, so all I was saying was कि irrespective of whether you're expecting a blackie call or not, don't take GDPI prep for granted. If you're someone who's made it a mind to do MBA this year and you're sure you're going to get any call, you need to do GDPI prep first and foremost. Secondly, there are a few common things irrespective of your background. So say your GK, say your current affairs, say your technical knowledge about your work ex or whatever you've done in your undergrad, which you need to know on an individual level. So maybe even if you're taking say 2-3 days to calm down and to just unwind after CAT, make a timeline. Start by making a timeline for yourself. Ki work ex pe I'll be able to answer any question, or say if I'm still a fresher, I'll be able to answer any question about my UG. These are the things I need to focus. If you're not someone who's a good orator or who thinks GD might be a problem for you, see how you want to tackle that and start by making a plan rather than just jumping directly into ki I'll start just reading a newspaper. Definitely read a newspaper, but make it a time ki kitna mujhe newspaper padhna hai. How do I want to know about current affairs? Do I need to join a program, or do I want to do it on my own? Or speaking skills is something I need help with, but content is ready. So just make a mind and then roll into it.
Yeah, adding to what Shruti and Anurag said, what I would suggest is just focus what is right in front of your eyes now, as of now. Your aim now is to do well in CAT exam. That's it. पहले वो खत्म करो. जीडीपीआई का टाइम आएगा, टाइम मिलेगा, बहुत सारा टाइम मिलेगा प्रिपेयर करने के लिए. यू कैन रियली डू वेल इन जीडीपीआई. आई एम टेलिंग दिस बिकॉज इट्स मी एंड सतीश talked after exam, and it's Satish who introduced me to GP sir. So until then, I have only heard about GP sir. So after like the real interaction started, if I'm not wrong, 2 or 3 weeks after my CAT exam. So you will get enough time to prepare for GDPI. And I was able to convert 16 colleges after I got a call out of 18. So GDPI के लिए time मिलेगा, but right now just focus on doing well in CAT. So that must be your prime focus as of now. बाकी सब don't even think about it is what I would say.
I also took my GDPI prep after I got the response sheet for CAT, and I thought that I'll get some calls from different colleges. But another thing that I started doing after the CAT exam more consciously was that I started speaking in English more often, because I knew that the interviews would be in English. So, just so that I did not use a lot of fillers, or so that I talk flawlessly, I just try to practice a lot more so that you're you can speak effortlessly on the interview days.
Nice. Good input. Good input. More on GDPI, guys. As I stated, next week we'll have some of these guys back, hopefully all of them, to share insights on that. I'll pick up one or two questions from this. I have asthma, need to use my inhaler. Can I bring it? Yes, you can. हो सकता है थोड़े सेंटर पे पंगा करे, but I don't see an issue. GP, do you think there's any issue?
Just make sure you carry a prescription with from a doctor also with you. So doctor की prescription ले लो, asthma inhaler ले लो, they will allow it. They might ask you to write some undertaking, but that's a minor issue.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So for the achievers mock, we'll come back to that. Let's get back to a few of the questions that we have here. I think we're more or less done with most of the questions. Did you practice mock interviews? If yes, how early? So we'll probably leave this for the next session. Again, interviews, wala, what do B schools look for? So keep it for the next session. I think this is an important thing, right? A nice question. How did you handle the first 5 minutes of the paper? Other than Shruti, who was trying to sort out mouse handling, learning how to handle a defective mouse. What about the others? First 5 minutes.
So my first section was VRC, and
Everybody's was
I just
Siddesh.
started it. Yeah, so I just started. Like I just saw question one start. That's it. I didn't even think about what's going on. Where ये होगा, ये VRC, ये question आसान है या difficult है. No, just read, go full bonkers.
So first RC. So it came on your screen. The first RC, read it, started, right?
Yes,
Perfect.
that's it.
I have a different
Others?
input. This year it was
Anurag.
quite flawless, but talking about last year's attempt, I was quite confident till the time the test started. But as I said before, VRC is not my strong suit. And when I started reading the first RC, ये things आने लग गए कि अरे shit, CAT start हो गया, मैं इतने time से prepare कर रहा हूँ, and finally it's the day. वो चीज़ मुझे during VRC hit हुआ. So I stopped myself, दो से पानी पिया, थोड़ा सांस लिया, and then I resumed again. So that is something that can happen to many, especially those who are taking CAT for the first time. थोड़ा हो सकता है कि पैनिक हो जाए, because till the point the test started I was very relaxed, very confident कि हाँ मैंने तो बहुत अच्छे से prepare किया, I will do well. But then when the test started, it started hitting me कि अच्छा सिर्फ 2 घंटे में decide हो जाएगा कि मैं क्या करूँगा अगले साल. So just relax yourself, maybe take a breather. It's okay if you spare 2 minutes because that can decide कि बाकी का paper कैसे जा रहा है. Rather being panic and anxious and giving the entire paper, you might end up scoring really less. तो थोड़ा सा breathe ले सकते हो बीच में, drink some water. Maybe stop looking at the screen, close your eyes, and then resume again and get back to the paper. So that's something.
Others? Any specific things? First 5 minutes, mein?
I went
Okay.
through the entire section
Ah.
once. In a minute or two, just went through the entire section because usually the RCs are the first thing that come up once you start a mock. But during my VRC section, there were some verbal questions that came up first, so that's why I just went through the entire section. And then, as per my strategy, I started reading the RCs and then just went about them.
मेरे लिए भी वर्बल आया था पहले. I think the first question which I got was a critical reasoning
Okay.
question. So
Same
even
for
I
me.
became very interested. Same, yeah. So even I became very interested. पूरा देख लेते यार पेपर. ऐसा तो नहीं ज्यादा वर्बल है. खुश हो गया मैं पहले. ऐसा तो नहीं ज्यादा वर्बल आ गया आरसी कम हो गया. आई लाइक वर्बल ओवर आरसी. अरे अरे वेरी गुड. दिखा दो कहीं ग्रामर भी आ गया हो. आई स्टार्टेड सर्चिंग कि ऐसा कुछ तो नहीं हो गया. बट या ओके.
I'll tell you one thing. Like I have the habit of attempting VA in the first 5 minutes. Okay. तो मैंने पहले से एक स्ट्रैटेजी बना के रखी थी कि मैं सबसे पहले कभी भी वीए करता हूँ बिकॉज वीआरसी इज वन ऑफ द सेक्शन विच आई एम यूज्ड टू बी स्केयर्ड ऑफ. तो मैंने एग्जाम में गया और मैं वीए स्टार्ट किया. पहला वीए किया, मुझे लगा यार ये तो मेरे से हो नहीं रहा. आई मूव ऑन टू नेक्स्ट वीए, मुझे लगा यार ये भी नहीं हो रहा. यार ये क्या देख रखा है इन्होंने. तीसरा वीए गया, मुझे वो ही नहीं रहा. और मैंने सारे मॉक में सबसे पहले वीए ही किए. तो मैंने बोला था कि मैं हर मॉक में एक स्ट्रैटेजी क्या करके रखता हूँ कि मैं पेपर पे लिख कर रखता हूँ ड्रिंक वाटर. और मैंने लिटरली फिर क्या किया, आई ड्रिंक वाटर एंड देन आई लाइक आई शुड स्टार्ट विद आरसी. और वो मुझे एक बेनिफिट मिला कि हाँ मैंने ये स्ट्रैटेजी बना के रखी थी तो मैंने आरसी से स्टार्ट करी थी. फिर अगर कुछ ना हो रहा है तो यू कैन स्विच. तुमने पहले से डिसाइड करके रखा है ऐसा होगा और नहीं हो रहा है तो स्विच योर प्लान, मूव ऑन टू आरसी.
गौतम, दिस इज सिमिलर टू व्हाट यू डू कि क्वांट के शुरू के सवाल नहीं होता, अच्छा तो उल्टा शुरू कर देते हैं पेपर.
करेक्ट, एग्जैक्टली. मतलब मेरा तो यही रहता है. मतलब आई डोंट नो वेदर यू गाइस नो ऑफ दिस और नॉट, बट आई थिंक आई हैव अटेम्प्टेड द पेपर फ्रॉम क्वेश्चन नंबर 22 in quant more often than I have from question number 1. I start from the end more often than I start from the beginning. I don't know why. I've always felt, even though random आता है, I've always felt end के questions easier होते हैं. जो भी random order दे दो end के easier लगते हैं. पता नहीं क्यों. So I have this mental thingy कि वो करो, कि start from the end and then keep moving. So I do that a lot. I'm not stating everybody should, but yeah, it just helps. अगर वो नहीं हो रहा होगा तो फिर और अच्छा लगने लगता है. अच्छा starting की easy है इस बार, ठीक है, चले जाओ. But there's nothing to lose from that perspective. One thing which I think we've not picked up, but I'm quite sure बहुतों के पास ये doubt होगा. Anybody here who either picked up a wrong DILR set, नहीं उठाना चाहिए था, या DILR उठाया और 5-7 मिनट बाद ये हुआ यार ये हिल नहीं रहा है, what to do kind of a thing. Anybody who faced any issue in DILR during CAT, in the CAT exam?
Yes, I can say. मुझे बना नहीं, ये नहीं हुआ. मैंने पहला LRDI उठाया और लास्ट ईयर LRDI वाज वेरी इजी और वो 4 मिनट में बन गया. अब आई वाज वेरी डाउटफुल, आई हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग. आई रिसॉल्व दैट LRDI, देन आई अगेन पिक सेकंड LRDI, अगेन आई सॉल्व दैट LRDI इन 4-5 मिनट. आई अगेन वाज डाउटफुल कि यार ये क्या हो रहा है, यार ये कैसे हो सकता है. आई अगेन सॉल्व दैट DILR. Because of that only I took a lot of time. I had solved almost every LRDI whatever I have attempted twice. So don't doubt
So to all
this answer.
To all those thinking यार इससे जल्दी हो जाता है, देखो जल्दी जो करता है उसको भी स्ट्रेस होता है कि जल्दी कैसे हो गया, कुछ तो गलती की होगी.
Very
First
similar
LRDI
to
was
me.
thinking.
I was used to
Go
not
ahead,
scoring well in DILR. So when I did 3 sets, I was like, not possible. ये तो कुछ तो off है. But then I couldn't really, think about it. आगे करना था. So I also did not believe it.
Interesting. So these are the issues you face when it's a slightly easier paper. I don't want to call it a very easy paper, but let's say it is a slightly easier paper from the perspective of DILR. In 24 might not happen in 25, and I'm sure those of you who solved 23 know what I mean by that. So do ensure that you keep your eyes open for that. Let's get back to the questions. Let's see क्या है. These guys are all in college. मेरे को गाली देंगे, कल इनकी सुबह 8 बजे क्लास है. So let's go ahead and end this session soon. Similar question. I preempted this. In case you got stuck in a set or a passage, my guess is nobody here got stuck in any set or a passage, right? किसी ने हाथ नहीं उठाया, सब स्टड लोग हैं हमारे पास.
नहीं, वीए में मैंने
कोई
कहा था
फंसा
कि
नहीं?
स्टार्ट किया था तो स्टार्ट में वीए में मैंने पहले
हाँ,
स्टार्ट
गुड.
किया था वो
कोई तो फंसा,
हाँ।
थैंक गॉड. Okay, so that's good. फंसते हो तो just take a sip of water, move on to the next one. वो नहीं होता, move on to the next one. कहीं जाके तो होगा, and keep telling yourself मैं फंस रहा हूँ, सब फंस रहे हैं. I think it's as simple as that. Yeah, so those were basically the questions that we had. If I were to pick up one or two more questions here, and then we'll probably call it a day. Stuck in 45 to 50, is it possible to move to 70 plus? I think we got a couple of y'all here for whom something very similar did happen. Shruti, I remember, I think in our Achievers Meet, or maybe the Chai Pe Charcha session we had this year in May, June, I think you did point out that there were mocks. In fact, today also you pointed out, right? You were at -2, if I'm not wrong, 3 weeks before CAT. So 45-50 तो काफी ज्यादा है. -2 से भी IIM Ahmedabad पहुंच सकते हैं. So what should students do?
This is actually one of my favorite questions because it hits home. And I have this Excel sheet, Google sheet that I made with the tracks which I presented last time also. I'd shared it. See, I think, and I'm going to be very honest, I say this in hindsight. So when I was in those shoes, this is not a learning that I had. But one thing that I would always say is that have faith in yourself. It's very much possible to score 70 plus, not just in CAT, but even in a mock you take tomorrow, right? But what helps is identifying the gap where you're going wrong. So I was scoring in single digits for Quant also until August, and we had that session. I'm forgetting the name of it, but the third time that it happened.
RT99.
Yes, RT99. So the third run of it. And then I was, and I went offline also for one of the sessions where I met GP sir. And the strategy that I was told was, just aim for 5 correct questions in quant, nothing more. Agar if you're able to do more than that, great. But if you're not, then koi baat nahi, aim for 5. And then you move to 6 and then you move to 7. So that is something that worked for me. So another thing that happened to me was ki in the last, in September, October, my VARC scores fell. And I was very shocked, ki what is happening? But then I spoke to people, and it's a very common thing that happens apparently. You get a VARC fatigue of sorts. So don't focus too much on the score. Know at the back of your mind that you have nothing to lose, no matter where you are, and just keep practicing. So it's definitely possible to score. Keep analyzing. Of course, it would be wrong to say if you get a 45, 50, whatever you get today, and then you just take another mock tomorrow. See your mistakes, analyze where you're going wrong, and analyze what is a feasible solution. Something might just not be feasible. If today you're analyzing a mock and you're seeing you tried to attempt a geometry question when you've not done geometry, right? Don't think too much about geometry. I didn't do geometry. I just did the 30, 60, 90 rule and one more 1 root 3. Very simple properties. And उससे CAT 24 में actually एक दो सवाल जिसमें वो rule apply करना था, right? So focus on things, and these are small things that you might have written in one of the classes. So revise those things, see how you can apply them. Revise your old questions, which were easier ones, which you could have done, in a minute through a jugaad or something. So it's very much possible, but stay alert and attentive is what I'll say.
Can I add on something?
Yeah, please.
सबसे पहली बात, I'll tell you one thing, कि like people target score. देखो, अगर if you are targeting 70 plus, nobody knows how the paper would be. Nobody knows if the paper would be easy or difficult. तो स्कोर तो पहले लेके नहीं जाना चाहिए कि मुझे 100 स्कोर चाहिए या 80 चाहिए या 70 चाहिए, क्योंकि पेपर का तुम्हें पता नहीं है. यू मेक श्योर कि तुमने जो स्ट्रैटेजी बनाई है, अगर पेपर लेट्स सपोज बहुत डिफिकल्ट आ गया, बहुत डिफिकल्ट पेपर आ गया, तो इवन इफ एट 60-70 स्कोर यू विल बी डूइंग रियली ग्रेट, एंड इफ पेपर इज वेरी इजी, 70 पे तुम्हारा कुछ नहीं होगा. तो मेक श्योर कि तुमने जो अपनी स्ट्रैटेजी बनाई है वो तुम रेप्लिकेट कर पाओ. अब और तुम ये श्योर करो कि जो तुम्हारा मैक्सिमम पोटेंशियल है वो तुम डे के दिन परफॉर्म कर पाओ. तो डोंट टारगेट स्कोर, टारगेट स्ट्रैटेजी, कि स्टिक टू योर स्ट्रैटेजी.
Point taken. Okay. I think a lot of questions in relation to whether you were scoring in late 80s, early 90s, and then reaching 99 plus and all. I think we've picked that up earlier in the session. So guys, I would recommend that you go ahead and have that. I like this particular question because I think it's slightly different and it's an intangible that people generally forget to talk about. A4 size paper नहीं होता, छोटा सा एक pad होता है. I think more or less इस size का pad होता है. if you can see. It's more
Yes,
or
sir.
less this size, the pad. So any recos in terms of managing space there, especially in long, DLR sets, जहाँ table बनाने पड़े, 6-7 rows बनाने पड़े, column बनाने पड़े. Any recos from you all with respect to that?
LRDA में मैंने फॉलो करी थी, वो जब आप पेपर को ओपन करते हो तो वो जो दो पेपर एक साथ ओपन हो जाता है, मतलब फ्रंट पेज पे नहीं, सेकंड पेज से आप दो पेज एकदम स्टार्ट में ओपन करते हो, दो पेज सामने आ जाता है, तो मैं LRDA हमेशा उस तरीके से सॉल्व करता था। वो टॉप टू बॉटम, क्योंकि वो स्पेस नीचे दिखने लगता है, तो मैं पूरा ओपन कर लेता था और वो दिखने लगता था, तो मेरे लिए आसानी होती थी काफी LRDA के लिए।
Perfect. One last question before I get into a couple of things. And this is basically what I was stating earlier. To me, this is very stressful. I think the most stressful part of CAT, preparation से लेके interviews से लेके finally घुसने तक, is the half an hour before the CAT exam, जहाँ उस screen के सामने बैठना पड़ता है बिना कुछ करे. I am a restless individual. To me, that is the most stressful thing. Anybody else who found that stressful, and how did you manage those 15-20 minutes? Unlike, matlab, Shruti tried disturbing others who did not want to get disturbed. But what about the others?
So, sir, as I said, I was traveling from metro and I gave it in Delhi. I reached around 50 minutes prior to the exam. So for me, I guess I was third or fourth guy to reach the exam. Pura pura khali tha. So first I got doubt. Have I reached the correct exam center? So I asked couple of people and security guards and all. They said yes, this is the right center. So then I just started listening to songs, put my headphones on. I started to walk around, roam around. I didn't allow my brain to be idle. If I sit idle, I start thinking, then I may panic. So I didn't allow it. I was just
When did you
listening to
enter?
songs.
When did you officially enter?
I was around 10 or 15 minutes back. I stand last in the queue, if I remember. Even after people were entering, I keep listening to songs and walking in and around the streets and all. So just to make the energy level go down and keep myself calm, I didn't allow my brain to think about exam. Like I was listening to my favorite songs, reciting the lyrics. So this is how I kept my brain out of the exam anxiety.
Nice. So Siddesh handled it by ensuring he entered later. अमन, इधर भी तुम्हें तो नहीं अलाउ कर दिया, हाँ सिस्टम में जो करना है कर लो, एक और यूटोपियन मोमेंट, बाकी को नहीं कर रहे, तुम्हें करने देंगे?
No, it wasn't like that. I was also sitting idle only. I was sitting, we, I was sitting inside the exam center, so I did not have my phone with me. But as maybe somebody else said, some maybe affirmations like all is well, somebody else had said. But I was also maybe giving myself positive affirmations only at the time that all will go well and just calming myself down. But just trying not to have an idle mind at the time. Just I am not really sure of what I was thinking, but I'm sure it was something about what I'll do after the exam also. That was also something that I was thinking at the time.
Nice. Something to look forward to. So that's a nice way of doing it. What about the others? One reco that I have is please ensure you use the restroom 15-20 minutes before the slot. You don't want to waste 1.5-2 minutes going up and down. और वो भी कई बार वो लोग allow नहीं करते. Some centers very irritating invigilators you'll have who will say no, it is not permitted.
Also, another thing, very small thing that I want to add is exam anxiety is very common, and just food for thought for you all who are sitting for CAT or any other exam. Mostly we're anxious, or even in outside an exam setting, we're anxious because we think, what if this doesn't go that way? What if I don't score well? What if I don't clear CAT this year? So all your what ifs and your presumptions are related to negative things. But just, I know it's easier to say, but try to think like, what if I clear it? What if I'm sitting in Shruti's position next year? What if I'm doing this talk? All the positives, and that'll just help you push. So try being optimistic, and it actually works. It actually works.
Nice. Okay. So two things that I want to add before I will get all of y'all to probably give one last minute speech. जैसे intro हुआ था वैसे ही conclusion from all of your ends. So just two things, guys. We've added something called an achievers mock in your MyZone. A lot of y'all has been asking that. I'll tell you what that is. It's basically two unique mocks that all of our toppers and achievers took last year. So maybe they themselves don't know this, but there were just two unique mocks that all the 550 students who scored 99 plus or ended up at these top B schools took. There were two unique mocks. We put both of them up. They are last year mocks. You all might have taken it last year. If you are repeating this year, you might not have taken it. But the point is, these were two unique mocks that these guys have taken. Some of them might have scored a 70 percentile in this and ended up with a 99 plus. Somebody might have scored a 99 in this and ended up with a 97. Either which way, these are two unique specific mocks that the achievers had taken. So we put it there for you, just so that you get to experience what all of them went through, every single person out there. And one common thing that I have seen is, while I did say कि कोई 99 वाला 97 हो जाएगा, on an average I saw roughly a 7 percentile increase for almost all of them. In fact, a couple of those here, in fact Shruti, if I'm not wrong, she had probably a 77 or a 78 in that mock. I'm pointing it out, Shruti, but you ended up with a 97 point something, right, in CAT. So that's almost a 20
No,
percentile.
no,
That
no, no,
you,
no, no, no.
how much?
No. I did not take the Achievers mock.
No, no, no. This is last year's mock, which we have renamed as Achievers mock this year. This is
Okay.
not an Achievers mock. Okay. So two mocks which were taken by all of y'all last year. We have picked
Okay.
those two mocks and given it to all our students of the current year as well. And we've re-christianed this as Achievers mock.
A
That is what we've done.
77 is very possible. I would not doubt that. But yeah, my
Yeah.
final
So
percentile
97 or something you scored, right? In the actual
98
CAT?
point 98.64.
98.6. So yeah, so she went up from a 77, 78 to a 98. So these are two specific mocks that we put there. So we just want you all to experience what all of them. We were trying to find out something common that everybody did, because like you realized in today's session also, among all these five people, there'll be hardly one or two common things other than the fact कि सबने fight मारी और सब एग्जाम में positive mindset के साथ गए. ये दो common traits मुझे दिखी है. उसके अलावा somebody had a great experience, somebody did not start off well, somebody is good at quant, somebody is bad at DLR, somebody is great at verbal. Everybody has a different experience. So this was a common thing. That is one. The second thing is, so both these mocks were taken in the last month to CAT. So putting that out there as well. We'll let you know which two mock these were, so that you are also able to go ahead and look at their analysis, which will be available on YouTube. We do the analysis on YouTube. Going back to the PPT, just one more thing which I want to add before I get everybody to share their last few pointers. We're bringing to you 2 to 3 things over the course of the next 3-4 days. Today is the 23rd, so I think there is a typo here, Neha. This is not 24th, 25th. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're coming to you live with a few sessions. Tuesday, Jijo will come to you with VARC, get CAT ready. So that's the 25th of November. 26th, Ravi and I will come to you with a DILR session. Think of it as a mini marathon 2 to 3 hour session where we'll do about 10-12 sets and talk about certain important pointers. 27th, GP comes to you with his last quant revision finale strategy plus jugaad and things that you should do. And then 28th, I don't know whether those of you here in this session remember this or not, but last year also we did this session, which was just chat, anything but cat. We had done this last year as well. So that's season 2 of that this year. So these are few sessions coming your way. Aman is smiling. I think she remembers probably that we did this session last year. I don't know whether the others remember or not. The basic funda is in your language बकर करेंगे. YouTube पे आएंगे, हम लोग बकर करेंगे, 1 घंटा 1.5 घंटा चिल मारेंगे. The objective is do anything other than cat. तब तक we will also know whether India has lost 2-0 to South Africa, lost 1-0 or it's 1-1. So you can come and give Gali to Gautam Gambhir if you want to, or in case you have any opinions about Masti 4 or whatever other movies that that have come out in the theater recently, and you want to share your opinions, you can do whatever you want. So that's basically two things that I wanted to share. Over to all of you all. GP, you'll probably end it, but I'll probably start in the reverse order. Now, Satish, probably you can start. your final pointers, your final inputs to students, what they should do, what they should not do, and anything that you want to add.
सी आई टेल यू कि मैं लास्ट वीक में क्या करता था। सबसे पहली बात, मैंने सबसे पहले जो बोला था, एक अपनी रिटर्न स्ट्रैटेजी बना लो कि व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू डू ऑन द डी डे। दूसरी, मैं सही बात बता रहा हूँ, मैं लास्ट वीक में मतलब कि बेसिकली आई यूज्ड टू वॉच सम मूवी। कुछ भी मूवी देखो, एनीथिंग अपार्ट फ्रॉम एकेडमिक्स। मैं यूजुअली ऐसा करता हूँ कि लास्ट वीक में मैं अपार्ट फ्रॉम एकेडमिक्स कुछ भी करता हूँ। तीसरी, मेडिटेशन मैंने की थी लास्ट वीक में। आई यूजुअली यूज्ड टू डू मेडिटेशन एंड ऑल। बस इतना ही।
Perfect. Siddesh.
I would say just be relaxed. It's one day of 365 days. It will be your best day. Have positive faith. Believe in God. You have given your best for the whole year. You will execute it. You have executed multiple times. Relax. Give your best. That's it.
Lovely. Anurag?
Yeah, I would say something on the same lines. Be a bit delusional. Like you are better than others. Be a bit cocky as well. That बाकी लोग ने
I
कम
like
prepare
that.
किया है मेरे से. So take that
I like
delusional.
that.
Be optimistic and don't let negative things affect you. घर पे कुछ हो रहा है, tell them कि अभी एक week के बाद बताओ, मुझे कुछ नहीं जानना. My parents were really supportive in that way, so I'm quite grateful to them. But yeah, be a bit delusional. I remember it's a bit cocky, but yeah, while going to the center, I was telling my parents, see, all these people, they are going to score less than me. Be cocky, no one is going to listen to you, but it boosts your optimism, boosts your morale, and it lowers your anxiety, which I can see many people are saying that they are quite anxious. So just trust your prep, be a bit relaxed. Don't take 5 to 6 mocks if you are not doing that regularly because it's quite hectic. Take a few mocks, analyze them, revise the concepts, and just stay calm. Don't try anything new in the last week.
Perfect. Shruti?
Block the noise, calm down, do things you like, and sleep really well.
Important point. Aman?
I think focus on clarity over intensity in the last week, and also visualize you giving your absolute best and being very relaxed on the D day. And lastly, I think also see just anything but cat that they will stream because it's really fun and it'll help you be even more relaxed and relieved, and know that everybody else is also going through this. So you're on the same boat, and you all will get through this.
Perfect. Yeah, GP, over to you.
आई थिंक सब कुछ बोल दिया गया है एंड नॉट मच फॉर मी टू ऐड, बट यही बोलूंगा मैं कि जस्ट रिलैक्स अ बिट, डोंट पैनिक. अननेसेसरी चीज है वो, जो कर सकते थे, whatever you could have done, you have done. And in last 1 week, while some of you will pull up a lot, for most of you, things are not going to change significantly. Just focus on what you know. As Satish said, आसान चीज करनी है, मुश्किल काम नहीं करना पेपर में. So and that what Aman and Shruti said, relax a lot and sleep a lot. Okay.
Perfect. So thanks for that. Thanks, Aman, Shruti, Siddesh, Anurag, Satish. Thanks to all of you. Not easy sitting at a B school. Sunday evenings are generally time to relax, chill. I know how important those Sunday evenings were. So we've kind of taken one of those from you all. So apologies for that. But I'm also not going to apologize because we'll probably take a couple more over the upcoming couple of months. So thanks a lot for your inputs. I hope this was helpful to all the students out there as well, because GP, me, Shivku, Jijo, all of Ravi, we just keep coming, we state a lot of things, but I think hearing it directly from you all कि हाँ ये लोग जो बोलते बकवास नहीं है, सही है, ठीक है, इनकी बात कभी सुन लिया करो. I think that's very important, and you all have gone through this very recently, so I think थोड़ा वो भी आता है कि हाँ ये एक साल पहले ही they've gone through it. So
Gautam, it is easier to associate with people your age. बुड्ढों की बात कम समझ आती है ना.
yeah. That was me indirectly stating that. आपने थोड़ा directly बोल दिया. But I think that's about it. Thanks a lot, guys. This was very, very helpful. I'm sure this was helpful to everybody here. Relax, chill as much as possible. My record, don't do those 5 mocks or 6 mocks. Work for a couple of those here. Maybe limit yourself to 3 at max, 2 ideal. And the last
Yeah.
couple of days, relax, catch a movie, do whatever that you need to do in order to relax, in order to chill, watch whatever you want to, hang out with friends. But at the end of the day, just back the preparation that you have put in. That's it. There is
And
nothing, there'll be no substitute to that.
Yeah, in that revision session only if you need it. अगर जरूरत नहीं है तो प्लीज मत आना, जरूरत है तभी आना. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
One
So
thing I
catch
would
you
like to
on
add.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Satish.
One thing I would like to add. अगर अगर तुम्हें प्रेशर आ रहा है तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम एकेडमिक्स तुम क्या कर सकते हो? जैसे मुझे लगता था तो मैंने क्या करी थी कि मुझे कुकिंग काफी पसंद है, तो मैं लास्ट 3-4 दिन कुछ ना कुछ बनाता जरूर था अपने घर पे. I used to
I think
cook.
nice one. Yeah. So Abhishek just pointed out something similar in the chat. Hit the gym. जो करना है करो, इंजरी मत कर लेना, बस ये मत करना प्लीज. Whatever you do, don't get injured. You don't want any sort of inconvenience on that day going into the exam. Enjoy yourself, have fun, and all the best. Enjoy the last 7 days. This should be slightly less stressful in terms of the effort that you need to put in. To those of you all working, please go ahead and work. Catch you again very, very soon. Tuesday to Friday is kind of packed. So like GP stated, catch us if you want to revise. If you don't and you think you're chill, you don't need to, but do ensure that you catch us on Friday, where we ensure that you do not revise and you relax. So that's it from our end. Good night, and thanks again to all of you all
Good night.
for us hijacking your Sunday evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, Sam.